Hiya, Steve back again in my temporarily tidy shed. I'm standing over here because if I stand here there's a gap in the door and it just goes the sun straight into my eyes. So today's a very mild day for winter. It's 3 to 4 days after Christmas. But with it being winter, there's a lot of people now turning to using heated blankets, which are brilliant. They really, you plug them in, you put them over here, and they're lovely and warm. And I've got two here that you can't see. Here's one. Okay. Over blanket they're called. Electric heated over blanket. Now these two are my mum's. This one is an old one that she's had a few years use out of. Put it in the wash and it stopped working after that. Now, yeah, do you put your electric blankets in the wash? Well, according to this, yes. This is totally washable. Yeah, it says that. See, machine washable. Very first one. So it's been washed, but it hasn't worked since. Now, I'm not sure why. Maybe it wasn't dry enough. Maybe something's got in here. We'll have a look. But anyway, when that one broke, whilst waiting for me to look at it, bought another one. And this one worked for a few days and then stopped working. Now this hasn't been in the wash. So it seems that this is broken. We've tried swapping the electric power supplies over, so the old one does work with the new one. So the new one does still work. The new electric doesn't work in either. So I have a faulty blanket, which is the old one, and a faulty controller, which is the new one. Now the new one was supposed to have gone back, but it was outside of Amazon's return, the automatic. So the supplier offered a 50% discount to keep the blanket, which is done, and bought another one in the meantime. So what I'm going to do now is look at the old one, because I know that the controller works, and just see if there's anything that's gone in where it connects to the blanket. So that's going to be nice and quick. If I can't see anything there, not a lot I can do. If there's a break inside, then we'll have a look at the controller of this one and see if there's anything I can do with that. So let's get down onto the bench and we'll have a look. We'll move that one to the side for a bit. Now this one, if I plug it in, switch it on, it just comes up 0. If I pop it in there, switch it on, it just comes up 0. Try to turn the temp up and it comes up with error code P, and then won't do anything else after that. Okay, so now if I very quickly take the new one, they're always going to be the old and the new, just to distinguish them. I could say grey and beige, but I won't. This is the new one. Plug it into the old blanket. Different makes, but they're the same. And then if I switch that one on, absolutely nothing. So that's something there that's broken. Could be the fuse. Okay, then if I take, well I won't, because we know that that's not working. If I put the old one that into the new one. Switch it on. 0, so turn the temperature up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's fine. That's the timer. That's showing up. See it just there, very dimly. I'll just turn it on high. So that's working, and now the blankets will warm up. Okay. So there we go, that's working perfectly. The new blanket with the old controller works. So we go back to the old blanket, plug it in, turn it on, it comes on. Then if you turn it up, we get the P error. So with either of these, I don't think there's going to be a lot that I can actually do to them. Oh, that's driving. I fix it to the rescue, hopefully. Driving. That's a very small driving. You know, perhaps it's not. I fix it to the rescue. That's the biggest driving I've got in that set. I have this really old Splink Tech set. Yeah, the Splink Tech one's slightly bigger. There we go. I'll have to get a bigger iFixit kit. Kind of glued on. It wasn't kind of glued on, it was glued on. Well, I was expecting to see a screw in there, but I don't think there is. There seems to be quite a bit of hot glue about the place. I think they've just packed it with hot glue to make it waterproof. Well, whatever happens now, I don't think it'll be usable again. But you can see there's a wire comes off this one and goes straight to that one. I also think it went straight across there. There's a tiny piece there. See there, yep. and that went straight across to there. Maybe it's conductive, let's find out. So all I want to do is just find out whether that wire is conductive across itself, see if it's bare wire. Yes, it is. Okay, there's definitely two wires coming out there, one going off to this one down here, one going off to this one down here. So I think I can possibly reconnect them. Wow. Let's just have a quick tidy up here. Oh, they might have gone together quite easily. Okay, that's together. But on. That's off. Right, let's see if that goes from there to there. Yep. Yep. And that's isolated. Alright, okay. If I plug it, just keep everything safe. Right, it's plugged in, switched on. Now I'm going to switch this on. Don't fall across the wires, that would be daft. It's on 0, I'm going to turn it up, 1. Off. I'll just check. So unplug it again. And everything in there still looks good. That's good. That's good. I don't know what else I can do with that because it all looks good to me. Well, I'm just going to interrupt myself here before I go on to the next repair. I've now done what I should have done in the first place, and I have put resistance down, well, check resistance down both circuits on both blankets. If we just go to this cam very quickly, this is the blanket that works, and if I probe for resistance down these two, the two outer ones, I'll get a reading of about 440 ohms. And then if I go down the grey one, outside to outside, so what it's doing is actually the inner core of both of these cables, outside to outside, and there's nothing, it's just open. So unfortunately there's a break in here somewhere, I don't know where. So that blanket is for the dog. Okay, that's all I've got to say. Let's get on to fixing the remote now. So now we're going to take the new blanket, which works, and we're going to try and fix the new remote control. So first of all, plug it in. Turn it on. There is absolutely nothing. You get a DC and just see if there's anything there. I think it'll be DC. It doesn't actually say, does it? No, it's AC. Okay, yep, and there is. Oh, it's 319 millivolts. That kind of suggests that the fuse is working, doesn't it? Okay, so the fuse is fine. Let's this out of the room. Let's move the blanket out. Have a dig in here and see what's what. Try wings again. there, there's a fuse. Just try a quick continuity on the fuse. Fuse is okay. This is a diode here. Let's move this over. Open one way and it works the other way. Okay, this is also a diode, but I think these work different. Let's see, so it's 2.4 one way and it's 0.7 the other way, so I think that's okay. Oh, there's a thermal fuse. Oh, oh! I think the thermal fuse has gone. And you couldn't see it, could you? So I'm in beep, and I'm not getting anything off that. I think it's that. It's a thermal fuse, if I'm right, TF. So I think if I take it out, let's see if I can get a new one. Full power. Yep. Just full power. There we go. And it's a 102 degree. Oh, sorry about my skin. Look at that, it's terrible. Because I've been working in the new shed. I've been doing hard work on my skin. Really doesn't like being worked. Right, I'll see if I can order a 102 degree thermal fuse. Look on eBay. £2.30 for 4. Okay, I'll buy that one. So £4.4 for that. So obviously that'll take a couple of days to get here, so I'll tidy up and I'll see you when it arrives. Okay, this is the third attempt at trying to wrap this video up. The other times I've tried, I came in early from work one night and tried to finish off, but it was so cold, moisture had got inside the cameras, so I had to abandon filming and take the cameras into the house to dry out. That's some of the problems you get when you've got a drafty old shed. New one's coming soon, hopefully. And then last night I got in early and thought, yeah, I'll be able to finish off, but the point down camera, something's gone strange with the memory card where it can't keep up with the write speed. I'm hoping that it's this adapter that I use, because it's a micro SD card. It goes in there because it is a genuine card, and I'm just thinking that maybe this adapter that I use in the camera, it might have got swapped over. It seems to be recording now, so might have to get rid of that. The sound might be a bit different for this part of the video. I usually use this lapel mic that's hanging up here, but I've noticed that it makes a lot of noise when I feed it through to the wireless sender. You get a lot of noise off the cable, as if, you know, lots of clicking, as if there's loose connections in there. So I hung it up to use, but I've left that switched on overnight, so there's no battery for it at the moment. So I'm using the camera mic, which I've never used before. I went to external because I messed up the microphone on shaky cam by trying to do a mod for it to take an external microphone, but yeah, that didn't come out too well. Anyway, here's the thermal fuse that I ordered 4 weeks ago. It didn't take 4 weeks to get here, it took about a week and a half, which wasn't too bad considering it was Christmas. But this is the first proper chance I've had to get in here and get this finished. So instead of waffling on, we'll get on with the fix. Here's the fuse. It is the right one. It's 102 degrees C at 2 amps. So it's the right fuse. It did come with a little note just explaining it's a thermal fuse and it will blow at lower temperature than the melting point in solder. So it wants you to use a heat sink on the easiest way to do this is hold the so they say it's necessary to protect it from heat when you solder it onto the board. So the easiest way is to hold the lead being soldered, that's the wrong place to put a comma, and there, firmly with a pair of long nose pliers to act as a heat sink. So I've got these, and these are quite stiff, so once the leg's in there it should hold them without me having to keep a squeeze on. I've set me soldering iron to a bit lower, so I'll see how low I can take it down and still get the solder to melt. That card still won't record properly, so I've put another one in. I'm going to have to get a new one because this one's quite low capacity. Right, I think where I was, I've got the soldering iron down to about 380 at the moment. I'm just going to see if that still melts the solder. It does. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it down to about 300 and bring it up until I find a heat where it still works. So I'll just let that cool down. Okay, it's down to 300 degrees C, and it melts very slowly, so I'm not going to take it any lower than that. All I'm going to do now is load the tip up with solder and bring it to the leg. So if I zoom down, right, first thing first is get rid of the old solder. So iron back up, add some leaded solder because this is unleaded solder and the melting temperature is higher. There we go. Okay, so that pad is slightly damaged. There's still enough there for me to get a decent solder on, and I'll leave that piece on as well. If it did come off completely, I'd have to scrape back here and solder to the track itself. The iron's just coming back down to 300 now. I'm going to flood the tip, but not over the board. Okay, there's lots of nice fresh solder on the tip now, and all I'm going to do is just pop it on here. That's not hot enough. And I'll come up to 320. Nope, it's not hot enough. And in between trying, I'm just letting this come back down so that it can't be holding any heat. I suppose, whilst I'm waiting for it to come up to temperature again, though it doesn't take long, it's already there. Be a good idea, just check that the fuse does work, which I haven't done yet. So just test continuity between there and there. Yep, that's working. The iron up to 350 now, and try again. It's almost there. Try 375. I'm going to add a little bit more flux. I think that's got it. It might still be a little bit cold. The fuse is still working. So I might just bring it up to 395 and just try and reflow that again. Just looks a bit dull, a bit cold. It's not flowing great. 410. Okay, I'm not going to go any hotter than that. Just clean it off now with a little bit of IPA. Get rid of any old flux residue. Then we can have a look, just make sure that the solders were warm enough. Okay, I was a bit worried that they might be cold, but they seem to flow quite nicely. Well, I can't seem to find my flush cutter, so I'm going to have to go in with these big gold things. There's something else I'm going to have to add to my wish list. If you don't know what my wish list is, it's a list I've made on Amazon for stuff that I need to make videos. Obviously my videos don't make any money, so if you do like what I do and you want to see more, then please feel free to have a look at my wish list and buy me a gift. I really do appreciate every single watch I get, every thank you, every comment. So yeah, if you do feel like helping out in any way, big or small, please have a look at the Amazon wish list in the description. Thank you. Okay, there we go. That should be alright. Let's go back together and then I can test it. Okay. So I've got the plastic on there. I'll leave it on for now. Okay, let's plug it in and see if it works. That's on. And temperature. That's better than it was before. Just pop it on high. It's been about 3 minutes and that's getting lovely and toasty now. So we're going to call that one fixed. Shame about the other one. I don't know what else I can do with it. I might measure some resistances through this and compare it to the other one, but other than that there's not a lot I can think to do with that one, unless you know any different. So we'll call it at that then. Huge thanks for watching. Again, if you'd like to help out in any way, please read the description, have a look at my wish list. You know, other than that, you know, like it, subscribe, hit the little bell notification for more, and I'll see you next time I've got something to fix and I'm in my shed. Thanks now, bye bye. So I'm just going to interrupt myself here before I go on to the